Have you ever felt like this while riding? Well, we've got a simple solution to fix all of your death wobbles and wheels out of balance, especially for all of you that like to ride these bikes on the road. It's super inexpensive, it's super easy to install, and it takes almost no tools. So let's get into how this system works. This is the Counteract balancing bead system. It's been around for over 20 years. It's been used in cars, trucks, tractors, UTVs, ATVs, and especially motorcycles for years now. It is a really cool system. It's literally a bunch of small beads that you simply pour into your inner tube. This kit I'm holding is kit A, which is 2 1-ounce bags, which is perfect for a bike like what I have behind me. And most of the bikes that are in this market that we serve, 1 ounce of beads goes in the front tire. And this is a 3.0 by 18. We're also going to use 1 ounce in the rear tire. Now, if you have larger bikes, like maybe a Stark Varg or some kind of larger street bike that has a 110 or a 120, you might add another ounce, so perhaps 2 ounces in one of those larger tires. And then if you have a rim lock, add 1 more ounce for your rim lock. What that's going to do is these beads, as the tire's spinning, they're going to self-distribute into the low spots and magically balance your tire as you're riding. It's a really cool system. It's been around a long time. Let's show you guys how to install it on this eRide 3.0. So let's unbox this counteracting motorcycle balancing kit and see what's in here. This is kit D. It's got 2 2-ounce packets. Normally you would use the 1-ounce packets in these bikes, but this is the 2-ounce kit. You've got your application bottle that holds your balancing beads. So there's already balancing beads in here. They already put 2 ounces of beads into this container. So this container is ready to go other than clipping it off and opening it up. There's a second bag in here with another 2 ounces because this is the 2 by 2 ounce kit. You've got your application hose that connects to your valve stem. You also have valve core extractor tool to be able to pull your valve core out of there. You've got brand new valve cores. They have a special plastic tip on them to help prevent the beads from coming up into the valve core. So when you're inflating and deflating your tire, this helps to prevent the beads from interfering with that. And you also have 2 brand new valve stem caps to install that look really nice. And they have an O-ring in there so they hold the air inside. Even if your valve core was to leak, it's still going to hold your air in there, which is really nice. You also have a sticker and a full instruction sheet. This is a brand new eRide 3.0 straight out of the box. We've done nothing to this bike. They come with these awesome kind of hybrid on-off-road tires. Very similar to the Shinko 241 tire that almost everybody runs in this industry on their Surons, on their Talarias, on all of the bikes that end up going on the street. Very popular tire, our #1 selling tire in the whole industry. So it's cool to see eRide coming in with these tires. So let's see what this looks like straight out of the box from the factory without the balancing beads, and then we'll do a before and after. Now I am going to say these tires are typically pretty well balanced when in manufacturing. So we're probably not going to see a lot of wheel wobble in this particular tire, but we might pull in another bike that's got a rim lock on it that will show a much more dramatic effect. So first things first, we're going to remove the valve stem cover or cap. Next, we're going to use the valve core tool that they gave us with the kit. So it's kind of like a screwdriver. You have to rotate it until you feel it lock into the grooves, and now I can twist it. That valve stem core was in there pretty tight, but I got it out. Now there was a lot of pressure in that tire, probably more than there should have been. So just be careful that this little valve stem doesn't go flying across your garage or room or wherever you happen to be doing this, because there is a little bit of pressure in there. You can release the pressure first before pulling this out, and then that way you wouldn't have to worry about this valve stem flying out of here. Now the next thing, they already pre-filled this with 1 ounce of beads, so the beads are already in there for the first tire. When you pop the cap off, this is actually sealed, so I can't use this yet. So I'm going to grab something to cut this with, and I will be right back. So if you look at this, there's a little notch here to hold the cap on. I'm going to cut it just above that notch so that it can still hold the cap on. I'm going to install my tube. And we're going to connect it to the valve stem. Now in the instructions, it does warn to only put about 1/4 inch of beads at a time going into your valve stem, because if you were to try to pour all of this in at once, it likely will clog up the nozzle here and you won't be able to inject them into the tube. So I'm going to get a little bit in there. We'll see if they start backing up here. Right now they're going in pretty, oh, okay, so they backed up right there. Now we can use kind of squeeze it and get it to settle down in there. There we go. So I'm just creating a little bit of air vacuum there. Now it looks like if I go really slow, these kind of go in pretty easily. We have it lucky on these types of bikes because our valve stems stick straight up. On street bikes, they are at a 90-degree bend, and it's a lot harder to do this. All right. That was all of them. That was actually really easy thanks to our valve stem being straight up and down. Now I'm going to get the valve core that came with the kit. You can see that they have a little addition on the bottom here, and that is there to help prevent the beads from causing problems while inflating or deflating your tires. So just finger tight is all you need. Now I need some air. Let me go find some air. We're fancy today. We have an old school bicycle pump. So I'm going to put about 20 PSI in here. Says 20 PSI in the gauge. And last, most importantly, the new Counteract valve cap. Nice that it even comes in black to match all these bikes. And that's it, we're installed. That's all it took to make this tire balanced so that the next time we ride this bike on the street, it's nice and smooth and doesn't wobble and cause discomfort while you're riding. So let's turn this bike back on and let's give it a twist of the throttle and see if we can actually visually see a difference in how much it was wobbling. So the way this system works is as the tire is spinning around, all of those beads are being held by centrifugal force against the tire, and they're searching out the lowest spot on the tire, and that's how it self-balances. So let's rip this thing and see what it looks like. We saw before and after with this brand new eRide 3.0. Not a huge difference on the stand, but riding on the road, you will definitely feel a difference and feel a much more balanced, smoother ride. I'm going to pull another bike in here that has a rim lock on it, which should show a much more dramatic difference. So let me pull that in and pour some beads in it, and we'll do a before and after on that bike as well. So we just saw a before and after of this Ultra Bee with the rim lock in the rear end. It was hopping all over the place. We had a pretty good hop to it from that rim lock. Poured 2 ounces of the balancing beads in there and it looked way better. So that's just a great visualization of what to expect on the road. Now I will say, once you're on the road, you will feel a bigger difference than most likely what you saw in this video. I've seen these balancing beads work on Jeeps and other off-road equipment that have rim locks, because when you take them to a tire shop, they actually can't balance a rim lock tire. So this is a solution that's used in the off-road community in general that works really great. So if you want smooth riding on the road and smooth wheelies, check these out. They're going to be awesome and they're going to smooth out your ride.